Yes, 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 yes. Yes, I'm back again on this one. Game week 7, time for review. How you all doing, people? Yes, I'm back again on this one. Game week 7, a lot of twist and turn. And this game week 11, game 7, no doubt about it. Welcoming everybody onto the show. The Don in the building. The Don himself. I tell you, our game, Manchester United, ended in 0-0. I know the story. Right now, we are still waiting on the Ineos. What are they going to do? But first, we have to talk about the magic moments in the world of football right now. I'm talking about the Man City case. We are going to talk about the breaking news today. Man City versus Premier League. The Man City wins. They win. Lego challenge against Premier League over commercial deal independent panel. True, we are going to talk about it. No doubt about it. Please smash like on the video. And if you're joining this for the first time, what are you waiting for? This is how we roll. This is how we do it. With vibes, with lyrics. I tell you, they don't here for you. With all these vibes, I'm going to welcome this man. Whether he's ready for me, he got to be ready. You know the person I'm talking about, Jeffers. Jeffers is a national fan. I almost said Man U fan. God forgive me. Lord have mercy upon me. I don't know what's going on with me, but I got to do what I got to do. Jeffers, I almost said you're a Man U fan.
Well, technically, I'm a football fan, so that means I'm also a United fan as well, too. So it's still part of it anyway. Anyway, it's great to be here.
Yes.
Exciting match days. Match week 7, yeah.
Yes.
10 games, interesting scorelines, interesting scores. And I remember I said it on Friday. I said, I do not see United losing, funny enough. And
You said so.
it played out because it's just generally a situation whereby whenever Aston Villa decides to play United, they switch off. And that was exactly what happened again.
You said
It's
so.
not as if United played. United didn't. But Aston Villa didn't even bother to even show up, and that was why it ended goalless as it was. So once again, they saved Ten Hag, but just for now.
For now, again,
Exactly.
keep saving. Okay. All right, this is the breaking news right the moment. You want to say something about this? Man City. They said, what's your take on this?
Did you expect anything different? I think, although the deal is still in court, but this is just
different.
over commercial deals.
Commercial
It still
deals,
hasn't involved the financial fair play yet. But
Yes.
let's be realistic here. One thing I've noticed with City is this: whenever City wants to do their things, they tend to look at all angles, and they also have a legal team that actually looks at every single dot and every single point. And in this case, I think based on the negotiations you tend to have with clubs these days, for now it's not going to affect them. I think where it's going to start to take effect from is from next season, when the Premier League has already placed a rule that betting companies can no longer sponsor club sites in the Premier League. So that means all betting sponsors that are on the shirt sleeves, they can actually sponsor, but it's not going to be visible. That means you're not going to have them on the shirt sleeves, you're not going to have them on the side sleeves. So you're going to be behind the scenes sponsors. So I think then you might now say, okay, this is going to take effect. But the major issue we're looking at here is not about the deals or the partnerships. It's just about whether they breach financial fair play rules in getting players. Because what we are looking at is a case whereby the amount you said you paid on the book is different from what was actually paid when you look at all the documentations that are involved. That is when there's an issue. But for this one, I think this one we actually expected them to actually win this case, and no surprises. They got it. Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the first game of the day. 1-0 to Liverpool, 0 to Crystal Palace.
They squeezed this one. They squeezed it.
Yeah. They squeezed it.
I think if anybody will be upset with this result, it will be Oliver Glasner, because of the fact that they gave a good account of themselves, Palace. But as we always say, Palace's biggest undoing still remains that attack line. They just find it difficult in finding a way to get the ball into the net. And this was exactly what happened. I think basically the key moment in that game was that chance that actually got to the goal for Diogo Jota, and that was it. Basically, that was just it. I think they found a way to hold Salah in that game. The
Absolutely.
defense they found a way to hold Salah, and I think that's where you see the effect of McGahey in that squad. I'm just trying to imagine what would have happened if Newcastle had been able to
Newcastle
get
have gotten.
McGahey. I hate
Oh,
to imagine what Palace will be now. But for Glasner now is a question of it's looking like we are repeating the cycle at Palace. A new
yeah,
manager comes in, he does well, he starts giving results, starts on a run that is going accurate and perfect. And then when he has finally settled in, it starts going down. It's repeating itself. Someone actually said, if care is not taken, you might actually see Roy Hodgson in the dugout by December. So they should let Roy Hodgson just retire in peace. I beg
yeah,
them. They should look for someone else. For Liverpool and Slot, so far so good. He's been able to do a good
yeah,
job. Because if you look at it, he hasn't stressed himself. He's just basically continued the process of what has actually been there with Jurgen Klopp. So he's just continued. I think where he's going to have his major challenge is after the international break
yeah,
because his very first game is against Chelsea.
yeah.
I want to see what's going to happen there. Especially looking at the fact that Chelsea seems to have found a
They're
new
ready.
lease of life. Exactly. I want to see how it's going to look like. That's the game I'm looking for. But so far, so good. Well, Slot has actually been able to slot in perfectly and he's doing well.
All right. Thank you so much. Moving on to this game. I think at some point Southampton scored first.
You know, I
And I
said it.
text and I text you. We had a
I
group
said,
in the group chat.
yeah,
I said,
yeah.
hmm,
I said
hmm.
I was expecting it to happen. And
Ah,
the key word was, I think the key thing here is was, I was following the game and I was following us. There's this group, this Arsenal fans group. I was actually in the group. I was actually observing these things. And one thing that everyone was saying there was,
hmm,
you see this shuffling Ateta did today. You should
hmm.
not try it again.
They should
Because
not fight again.
I think the issue is this is where I understand where this person gets angry most of the times. That's Babatunde where he gets angry. Gabriel Jesus, where's the 9 jersey for us now? But he does everything except that particular function is meant to do, which is to score. And believe you me, it's becoming a problem. Because if you notice one thing, there were chances in the first half.
Yeah,
Obviously, you played Havertz again in midfield. So Jesus was up front. But if you notice one thing, the best chances in that first half actually came to Havertz, not Jesus.
no
That's
Jesus.
telling you that basically Jesus is becoming very, very ineffective up front in goal. He's becoming very, very ineffective. It was a steady game, it was balanced. Then the key moments came in the second half. First of all, the goal that Southampton scored, people might want to say there was a foul on Sterling, but no,
On
honestly,
Sterling.
it wasn't a foul. It was a clean tackle. He got the ball clean. And got the fact that at that point, the Arsenal defense had already come forward, so they just let slip, and that was how the goal led in. But the thing was, as expected, I've always said it, Southampton is always a bogey team where Arsenal is concerned. They find it hard to play against Arsenal. But the thing was, what made Arsenal stand out and what showed their title credentials was the response. That
Yeah,
lead didn't last for 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Immediately,
Yes.
they also had a mistake. Bukayo got the ball, sent it to Havertz. Havertz, usual, put it in.
Nice shot.
Then once again, I think the key ingredient in this game was Bukayo Saka because the truth is that
Yes.
young man is on a run of form that he's looking dangerous, not exactly for scoring, but for creating. You remember we were saying that the Premier League record still stands for the highest number of assists in the season. It's Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne,
Yes.
20 assists. This is match day 7.
7.
Bukayo
Yeah.
has 7 already.
7 already.
He is 13 more to actually equal the record and 14 more to break it. If he continues with this form at which he's going, he will do it because for once we are seeing people who are actually willing to help him to complete the process. If you're talking about headed goals, you're looking at Gabriel, you're looking at Saliba, you're looking at Havertz to always provide those headers for them to finish. You're looking at people who can also basically anyone can score in the team. So when he keeps on creating those chances and those pullouts, you know goals will come in. And no
Yeah.
surprises for me, he had a 5-star performance. I think it was basically where the changes came in. That was what actually changed the game for Arsenal. For Southampton, I would say it's tough luck. They
Very
actually
tough.
did as good as they could give, but when you're playing against a superior side, obviously it's going to actually tell out on you, and I think that's what played out in this game.
Yeah, they still have 1 point. You can see the table. Southampton 1
I think
point with Wolves.
the good thing they have is the fact that the people who are close to them have not given them that distance. It's
That
just
is,
a
it's
win,
just yeah, it's just a
just a
win,
win.
and they'll get out of it.
We are back to factory setting exactly. So I think they should keep on trying. They will get the win. It's just a
Mm.
matter of time. Exactly.
Nice one, nice one.
They
All
will get
right,
the
this was 8 goals galore in that match. The Brentford looks dangerous
I
in
think
this game.
I think the
Mbuemo is
playbook,
on fire too.
yeah, the playbook this season is to not let Brentford get to pass
Get
first.
to pass.
Because once they do that, they will score.
They'll score.
For
Yeah,
the
they're
third
playing. They're playing well. They're
third
playing well.
consecutive match, Brentford scores in basically the first 2 minutes. It's no longer funny. When I watched the sequence of that goal, it was 77 seconds. It was basically a yo-yo. I get the ball,
But
up ball, you
up,
send it
yeah,
back to me, up
just
again,
up
send it back
the
to me. That's how it was going. It was going left, right, till they got to the other 18 that they scored. And I was like, what kind of football is this? But the thing is, Brentford, they found a way to manage themselves in the absence of Tony,
Tony.
in the absence of Tudor, who was meant to actually replace Iago, sorry, who was meant to replace him as a striker. And they found, even in the absence of Wissa is injured, remember that as well too.
Yeah,
So they found a way to just navigate themselves, and all of a sudden, the person who has stepped up to actually run the show now is Brandon Bremo.
Mbuemo.
Bremo once again,
Fantastic game.
man of the match performance.
Yeah.
Not only is he scoring, he's also creating as well too. And they were able to pick out Wolves. I think Wolves' issue is this: you're looking at the injuries at Wolves is telling on them. It's really telling on them because of the fact that you're seeing them looking more open. If you want to play them, it's easy. You can easily
Very,
walk in.
very easy.
They look very, very open. And
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to look, but obviously the way it's looking right now, looking at the managerial go round list, it looks like the first name that is coming out on that board is Gary O'Neill. He might actually be shown the exit door any moment from now because results are not looking fine. This is 7 games already,
Absolutely.
and I have just 1 point. It's not looking good. He has to find a way to start getting results because the worst part is
That
this.
defense is so poor. Very,
Poor.
very bad.
Ever
Very
since this person left that defense, ever since Max Kilman left, it's looked open. Very, very open. Anyone can get in. I think they need to find a way to sort out that defensive shape because the truth is this: in the Premier League, there's just a simple pattern. If you cannot score, you should at least know how to defend.
defend.
Because if you cannot score and you're also conceding goals as well too, that's the exit door.
Out.
You're going
That's
down
it.
as fast as anything. I think that's what he's looking at right now. He's got to find a way to get this team to start delivering and working in shape. They need to watch out for the next person because in every game I see Wolves play this season, the goalie looks exposed. Seriously, they
Absolutely.
keep on exposing him. They exposed Jose Sa. They felt Jose Sa was a problem. They benched him and they brought in Johnston. Johnston is also facing the same problems as well. Too. He's being exposed consistently. They've got to find a way to sort out that defensive shape, and they need to look at that defensive because obviously no one is actually blocking that defensive midfield. No one is shading the defense. When you don't have someone shading your defense, obviously you're exposing your defenders to serious pressure, and whenever that happens, it's just like a biscuit is going to crack, and when it cracks,
That's it.
you are not going to hold it. The goals will come in.
All right, moving on to this game quickly. Leicester City. Can you imagine 1-0?
Just one.
No,
just
one.
one.
Didn't see that coming. I was thinking it was going to be a draw or Bomo is going to punish
we call
them.
this game a very, very tight one, and no surprises, it was also tight. Bournemouth. Where do we start from? Sri Lanka has left. You brought in Evan Nelson.
They're above Man U.
That's the funniest thing about United. No, United.
Yay!
See United. This is less. The less
Same
we talk
point.
of United, the better. You're on the same points.
Yeah.
But the thing is this: they are finding a way to grind results. I'm
Hmm.
looking at. If you notice one thing, the games Bournemouth have lost this season, they've most of them have actually been by a single scoreline,
Yes.
just one goal. That's to let you know that they've been able to at least compose themselves in defense. It's just that one chance that just beats them that goes in.
Hmm.
And I think it's if they will keep on working on it, they will keep on getting better. I think their major concern right now is finding a way to get
To
the
get.
man up front to start scoring. If you can
Hmm.
start getting goals, it will adjust the system for them, and I think they will start coming up on the table. As for
Hmm.
Leicester City, well, Cooper is actually proving that maybe he wasn't given that enough time to actually prove himself at Nottingham Forest. I think the powers behind actually were pressurizing him at Nottingham Forest. He's just grinding the results for Leicester City, and they're
Wow.
actually giving
They
through.
are behind.
Once,
Oh God. They are behind
once again,
Manchester.
once again, it's James Justin again, as if last week was a fluke. He
Fluke.
did that is not exactly a fluke. He did it again, creating the assist that actually led to the goal. I think this young man, it's funny when you look at him and you look at Wesley Fofana, and you wonder who should have gone to Chelsea instead of Fofana should have been Chelsea instead. But it's so good. I think Leicester actually Leicester to me personally, I said at the start of the season that if there's anything I see going down from the newly promoted sides, is actually Southampton. And I think so far so good. It's
Hmm.
going according to form. Leicester will pull trees along the way. They will get results against sides that you'd actually expect them to get results. I think it's a case of if the fans will be satisfied with what they are seeing with the manager. If they are not going to be satisfied with it and decide to make a change, then they might start having problems. But I think so far so good. Steve Cooper is actually doing his best he can, and the results are actually coming true for him.
Hmm. What about this? What about this? 3-2 Fulham. They gave him tough time, and what's the name of this guy? Kovic
Okay.
gave 2 goals. Make a
Come back.
of himself. He played
Yeah,
very well.
yeah. He actually played very well. I think it was even aided by the fact that Fulham's midfield was a bit exposed for him to actually
Exposed.
get those chances exactly. And you say this is one game. Funny enough, I don't know how Fulham did it, but Ellen Haaland wasn't given a sniff,
A snake. Yeah.
not even a chance. And you know the fun. Someone said, ever since he told Arteta to be humble, he stopped scoring.
Stop scoring.
I think they say 5 goals before a 4. So that is what actually happens. This game I feel Fulham were Fulham were unlucky.
Unlucky.
No.
Because they have so many scoring chances as well, too.
One player that
Too
comes to
much.
mind in this game is Adama Traore. Adama
Yes.
Traore
Yes.
summarized that game for me in just one moment. Towards the end of the game, he had a contest with Kai Walker.
Kawaka.
And you found a way to go past Kai Walker. You beat him for speed, and you were through with
The
the
end
keeper
points.
1-on-1. What was you need to play to the keeper directly? That's the problem he has always had. From
End
Wolves
point.
to Barca, Traore will do everything. He will give you the energy, he will give you the speed, he will give you the skills, everything. But when he gets to the end
End
point,
point. 0.
it's zero. He did it again, and I think this time, uh, I don't know how Marco Silva is going to find a way to negotiate this thing, but he has to find a way to at least get someone to convert. Since this young man will
Since
not
you
convert,
can't convert.
somebody to convert instead, because you cannot keep going like
The
this.
disgrace now.
There were chances. This game, as in
Chances.
they had City on the line.
It pain me, pain me, pain me. Too
I'm
much
saying that,
chances.
honestly, I think this was a game that they would have gotten that result against City. But because of the fact that they were wasting their chances, City came in, and once City came in, City got the first goal. Because they got the second goal, you already knew this was over.
Yeah.
So once again, Pep found a way to get his result. With and without obviously, I think the absence of De Bruyne is actually telling. It's really really telling. They can't wait to get him back.
Yeah.
They can't wait to get back. And the good news is he's coming back immediately after the national break.
After the
So
national.
I think yes,
All
maybe they
right.
will try and get rid of him. by them.
All right, this is another game we thought your guy
Finally,
finally
he got his win.
please
He got his win in this one.
Postecoglou, I
Finally,
mean
yeah,
4-1 over
yeah.
Ipswich. You
I
know,
think I think
we already praising Ipswich, but they were beaten hands down in this
they got
game.
exposed in this
They're
game.
exposed in
They
this
got
so
exposed in
much.
this
Are
game.
you
Yes.
sure?
They got
West
exposed
Ham
in this game. It showed, and I think this is one game that they really will not want to look at again. I think they will
again.
ask themselves, what did we do wrong?
Yeah, they have themselves to blame.
Where they lost it was, first of all, I think it started from the beginning. The very first minute you concede, that's poor. That is very, very poor. And from that point moving forward, you already knew that there was only going to be one winner in this game, and it definitely wasn't Ipswich Town. For West Ham, I think for once, I think Lopetegui got it right. He got it right. Antonio was in another mode for this game.
Yeah,
Beast mode. He was basically everywhere.
on
He was
fire.
left, right, center,
Center.
and you just wonder, wow, where has this guy been all this while? I think it was just a case of maybe he needed more time to actually get to play, and he actually got it. Has anyone noticed that all of a sudden Lucas Paqueta is not showing up in games? Have you realized it?
Hmm.
He's not
What
showing
does
up in.
what does that mean now?
I think maybe the it was the kind of like a two
That's true
season
now.
wonder, and all of a sudden he's not showing up because basically he's not performing. You're not seeing him getting the results. You're not seeing him putting that effort that he used to put as a last season. So you begin
Yeah.
to wonder maybe there might be plans for a plan B. But anyway, so far so good. He got the result. I think Jared Bowen actually proved the reason why he's actually been called up to the national team all of a sudden. Why he's getting close to the corridors of being in the national squad. You see the performance. You see how he actually took the game by the score from the neck and actually was delivering the points he needed to deliver. And I think this is what Lopetegui really needed because honestly, I think the truth is this: if he had not gotten the 3 points for this particular fixture,
Is that is he's going to face fire.
I
He's
think we
going to
would have been saying right now that okay,
yeah.
West Ham United want to announce that they've parted ways. That's the statement we will hear next. Parted ways. They will not tell us that basically he was sacked
It
because he
was
wasn't.
parted with
Yes, parted ways. But I think at this point, obviously, what you're expecting for West Ham now is moving upwards because this is the win they really needed to actually kickstart their season, and finally they have got it.
Hmm.
But for
Oh,
Ipswich Town, back to the drawing boards.
back to
They
the
can,
drawing board.
yeah, they can still win other
Yeah.
games, but this game was just one that wasn't ready for them at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to this one. And Everton versus Newcastle. It ended 0-0. And there was a chance for Newcastle at that. They had a penalty
Yeah,
chance.
and I think it was a
They
case of
couldn't.
karma. It was karma.
Hmm.
You could have given that penalty to anybody. Can anyone remember the manner at which
Hmm.
Gordon left Everton to Newcastle? He
Hmm.
basically forced his way through. And then, as if karma was actually waiting for him, they gave him the penalty. And what did he do? He gave it to Pickford. End of discussion. This was one game I feel. This game, honestly, I think when you look at Everton,
Hmm.
in all the crises they've been facing, I think the one person who seems to have always been always been the one outstanding person to actually take them through has been Jordan Pickford. Because I'm trying to imagine Everton with any keeper apart from Pickford in goal. They will
They were
ship
having
it.
trouble.
They will ship in goals massively. I think Pickford is one player that, in all honesty, it's even a surprise that
Hmm.
Pickford will still remain at Everton even at this point. That's why, consider the fact that he's actually England's number one. He should actually be in a bigger club than Everton. Very
Dan
honest.
Everton.
Exactly. I think it's something. Maybe there's something the top club sides are not looking at. Because if you ask me, Pickford, I prefer to see Pickford at Chelsea than Sanchez. Yes, I said it. Anyone can
Hmm.
come from me if you ask
Maybe
me
there's
to.
something they're looking at that
I think there's something they are
top clubs
looking
are
at.
not looking at him
You
at
know,
all.
I think this game was a game that, in all honesty, well, for Newcastle, they are struggling. Yes, because there's no striker. Let's be
Yeah,
honest with ourselves. No
not
one up
like
front. There's no one up front. You're basically converting midfielders to play the forward man for you, and you know that these people they don't have the skill and the news to actually finish as a
finish.
striker, which is why they're actually feeling the impact. Look at it in their
But
last.
Gordon is trying now. Gordon is
Gordon
trying.
is trying, but he's not a striker. If you remember the last game, it was a penalty he scored against Man City.
Yeah.
That's been their only goal in the last two games. Even in the midweek game in the Carabao Cup, also it was a 1-0
Just
result.
one day.
It's letting you know that the absence of a striker is actually telling on them. And I think Eddie Howe cannot just wait for the international break to just come. I think Isak should be back after the break. I do not know about Callum Wilson yet. So I guess maybe possibly if they cannot solve this issue of getting a striker who is fit, by January they might actually go into the transfer market to get another striker. I
Mm.
think they will.
Well, right. This game ended in nil. But I saw that in this game, Sunderland had not this game.
Yeah, Villa.
The middle midweek game.
The cycle
The
keeps on going
hangover.
out.
The
I
hangover
wouldn't
is
say
there.
it's hangover. I
Really?
wouldn't say it's hangover. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's hangover. The thing is this: for Villa, as fantastic as they are, I just do not know exactly what it is with United that Villa finds it difficult to actually play. United didn't offer much, to be honest with you. United didn't offer.
Yeah.
And I think it's, you know how confusing it is. We need to start asking Eric Ten Hag some questions. You know, honestly. We need to
Hmm.
start asking Ten Hag some questions. Ten Hag, what exactly is your starting 11? What exactly are the reasons why you actually brought players? Because if you notice one thing, on Sunday's game, all the six players Ten Hag signed were all on the
They're on the
bench.
bench.
What exactly is going
What is
on?
going on?
What is going
Are
on
you
with Ten
telling me you
Hag?
don't trust them?
I'm going to ask that question. Like, you actually asked the board for these players. You
Yeah.
went out to get them because you felt you had a connection with them, either due to the Dutch league or due to the fact that they
So
actually played under
what
your
do you
ranks.
think he's trying to do
So
there? What's he trying
I,
to? Because I can see the lineup alone was got us confused. That what is going on here?
the truth is, I
That's
don't know how we're
crazy.
going to put it, but Ten Hag
Okay, what do you think
is.
is sending? What message is he sending across? And all the board, they are watching the game.
That
They are
was the
the game
interesting part. The full board were actually
board.
at the stadium
Jim
yesterday.
Ratcliffe,
Not
everybody
only
were there.
that, they were also at Carrington this morning. Every single one was at Carrington this morning.
Yeah,
Apparently,
but
there
they
was a
said they are
story
not
that came
sacking
out.
him.
There
They
was a
said
story that came out today saying that there was actually a bust up between himself and Wood Van Nistelrooy
oh,
after the game
after
yesterday.
the game.
Yes. Apparently, I think it had to do with formations, and I think Wood possibly felt United could have offered more in that game. I know,
In that
honestly,
game.
they could have offered more because at a point, Villa were just not in the game.
In the
They had
game.
chances. They could
The
have
game
taken
was
the
there for
point.
the taking
It
now.
was there for the taking. I wonder
Come on.
why it is whereby you expect,
Just
because I'm looking at the statistics and it's not good. United are low when it comes to scoring. They are low when it comes to conceding. It's
that
even a surprising fact that as bad as United have been this season, Andre Onana has 4 clean sheets.
can you imagine?
That is how bad it has been. It is how bad
Can
it
you
has been.
imagine?
He has 4 clean sheets. He's actually leading in the Golden Glove chart as we speak right
Chat
now.
now.
He has 4 clean sheets. That tells you that it's not exactly Onana's fault, but it's more of a case of United not addressing the two
Two
sections that they've
section.
actually had a problem with. There is no defensive midfielder who can shield that defense line. We
Yeah.
talked about bringing in Ugarte, but we all saw Ugate's
It's on the
performance
bench
in
now.
midweek. That game against Porto was
Was
not anything to
not
write
too
home.
that all.
He was exposed. He was exposed seriously. Now, you've not settled the defensive midfield, thereby exposing your defenders to continuous attacking chances. Now, when you move to creativity,
Mm.
He's also absent. You know how bad it was? I was actually looking at the statistics of that particular game, and the statistics I was looking at wasn't looking good at all. It was zero on all
Hmm.
aspects.
Zero. Can you
Zero on
imagine?
all aspects. And you begin to wonder, this is terrible. It's very, very terrible. You expect United to do better than what they've done so far, and it's not. In fact, that's how bad it was. Even creating corners, United were low.
Can you imagine?
Villa had more corners than United. It tells you that there's something Ten Hag is still not understanding, and that's the fact that he needs to find a way to make this team work. And unfortunately, time is not on his side because the more you're fumbling and the more you're not actually getting them to where they're meant to be, when the fans start to complain, every club side is run based on one thing, and that is to make profit.
Yeah,
When the fans do not come to watch games,
that's a
you're
big
losing money.
that's a big problem
And
right
when you're losing money, the management we have to act. And the management is looking at it that obviously the fans do not like watching. Imagine someone was actually raising a statement saying that the prisoners at Manchester should actually be allowed to watch United's match because it actually can solve. It's boring. That's how bad it
there.
is.
Bad.
It's something that's got to change. For Aston Villa,
No,
maybe
but
I think,
before you talk about Aston Villa, there's one
yeah,
player I want you to actually talk about, and that's in fact I'm going to clip this.
yeah.
What do you view about Bruno? Because Bruno has been abysmal this season, even before season
if
last season as
if
well.
if you
It's
remember,
just tell me what's your
I
opinion
always
of
like
it?
to say what I always like to say. We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. That's how Bruno has been. You see,
Damn.
you see, when United signed Bruno, I think I was one person who actually said I don't expect Bruno to pull up trees like he did in Sporting Lisbon. And believe you me, it's funny, but I'm being proved right with every single game. How many goals has Bruno scored for United since he came? I think it's about 50 something or 60. Can
Yeah,
you take out
50
the
something
penalty goals from
goals,
it? How many are
plenty.
left? That's the problem. Bruno is not creating chances. And that is where United is having problems.
I've had
Bruno
problems.
is
Yeah.
meant to create. He is not
Yes.
creating. And whenever Bruno doesn't create, United look lost.
Absolutely.
They look lost. It's a problem. Look, it's very, very funny. Could we say is a cause of the captain's armband? Because
Hmm.
when Maguire dropped that captain's armband,
Hmm.
his performance went up. You get me?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Bruno has taken it, it's
And
dropped. Okay, let me suggest something. It might look out of the box, but let me see if I can suggest something. Can Eric Ten Hag just do one thing for me? Take the captain band away from Bruno Fernandes and give it to Rashford.
give it to Rashford, girl.
Yes, it's funny,
Mark
but
Pavi now.
nah,
This guy no go collect time. I don't think
I
Rashford will
think
take it.
I think Rashford needs to be given a sense of
Wow. Wow. Wow.
belonging at United.
That's Doctor
If you
MBE.
if you give him the captain's armband, I can assure you one thing: something will change because you see, Rashford knows the United way. He grew up in it. He knows the system.
Chai.
It's looking funny, but if you notice one thing, no matter how much you might complain, if we're just complaining, we only complain about Rashford not scoring. But Rashford actually is creating chances. He is
Yeah.
creating
Yeah.
chances.
You're right.
It's just that obviously no one can finish because, as far as I'm concerned, Højlund is still not exactly the 9 United need.
Mm.
And Kegze has actually said it. It's not a 9,
It's not
it's
a
a
nine.
9.5. So that tells you that obviously finishing there's a problem. Rashford is creating. I think you need to give him more responsibility. Let him understand because when he has that, one thing with the captain's armband is this: it makes you a leader. It makes you direct. I feel Rashford looks lost. Try
Yes.
and bring him into
Yes.
the team by giving him a responsibility. And to me personally, I feel that responsibility will be the captain's armband. Let's give it to him for 2 matches and let's watch what changes. If there is a major change in it, that means obviously my suspicion is right, because I feel personally like the load is getting to Bruno and he's dropping.
It's
They
dropping.
should take it off and give it to someone. One other player I think we need to mention in that game. It's funny enough, but I didn't expect to say, but how old is Jonny Evans again?
I know you're going there. I know it. Jonny
How
Evans.
old is Jonny Evans? Because that was a performance that I did not see coming.
He's
Honestly, I saw the
man of the
starting 11.
match.
I saw the
Man
starting
of the
lineup
match.
and I saw Jonny Evans. I was like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, something's
And
gonna
he
happen.
plays
But
so well.
he
Can you
played
imagine at that
so
age?
well. At that age, he played
They
so
should be
well.
ashamed of themselves, all those players. They should be ashamed of
There
themselves.
is
That guy
a big
reps.
problem.
That guy
There is a
showed
big
he's a
problem.
Manchester United to the blood.
To the blood.
Ah,
There is a big
listen
problem.
now. No.
United,
Give it to
there
him.
is trouble at Old Trafford. Something has got to work. If not, okay,
All right.
we won't talk
We're
about
going
it again.
to we have to move so fast right now because of our time.
Okay.
Chelsea played Forest and they couldn't find the nets only just one time. They lost so many scoring chances as well too. And
The
at
lost
some
scoring
point,
chances is exactly true. I think this was a game that, in all honesty, we were not expecting anything
end to
different.
end,
It was end to end, yeah.
yeah.
There's one thing I
Forest
think
has
we might
also
need to.
scoring chances as well.
Yeah, they had
End
scoring
to end.
chances. Yeah, it was also tight as well too. I think this was one game that I felt I wasn't seeing any other results apart from this one. What Prowse? I want to talk about James Ward Prowse.
Red card.
Red card. Why? 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 To me, I felt that was what that he wasn't in the game. In all honesty, he wasn't in the game, and he made matters worse by getting the red card. This person could have also gotten a red card in that game too, Nicholas Jackson. Another person who was also not in the game as well too, and went to go and fight with somebody. I think
something wrong with
when you hear Mikel Obi lambasting him, and you just personally, I expect Jackson to deliver. He is not delivering because the truth is this: if you take out Madueke and you take out Palmer,
they are done.
I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything, honestly. I'm not seeing anything. They've got to find, Maesca has got to find a way to talk. And also, one person we might also want to mention in this game was Enzo Fernandez. That was not anything to actually talk about. Someone said we need to talk about Enzo's performance. It's been terrible. It has been terrible, honestly. Anyway, Forest, well-deserved 1 point. Chelsea, you say it's 2 points lost because they could have done better.
All right, moving on to I think it is the last game, and we have to talk about how come this thing are from 2-0 down. I mean, from 2-0 up.
Spurs
and the game
Spursy.
ended. I just can't believe it.
I watched that first half. I actually watched the first half.
The first half was they are flying.
Spurs were too good. Exactly, Spurs were too good. Then
Brighton couldn't contain them at all.
Get back in the second half.
Second half, everything
what
just
I now
went down.
hear, full-time score here, 3-2. I'm like, what the heck happened? Someone said 3-2. Everything you told Tottenham not to do, they did in the second half. Because that first half, they took, this was, how interesting that game was.
First half.
The first half, Tottenham actually scored first. Tottenham scored first. It was ruled off for offside. You might say, okay, fine, yes. Yes, they could actually breathe a sigh of relief. Exactly 2 minutes after. 2 minutes. Brighton, Tottenham scored again.
Tottenham scored.
You wonder, okay, what is wrong with Brighton? Second half, immediately they got the second goal. Then the second half, that was it. Ange. I don't know if it's Ange or if it's players, but somehow he has to find a way.
The guy said he defeat at Brighton most disappointing
loss I've had. No, you've had worse. You've had worse. I saw this side play Newcastle last season and they got smoked. I saw it last season. The thing is this. Yes, your attacking line is good. But the thing is, I've always said this thing. Pedro Porro
Mm.
is playing more as a winger than a defender. And whenever he comes up front, if you find a way to cage him up front there without letting him go back,
Mm.
that flank, you've taken it.
It's absolutely.
You've taken it. It's
Mm.
happening and it's happening continuously. He delivers when he comes up front, but at the back line, he is always suspect. And once again, he was caught out in this game. Uh, I think this game, Spurs have got to find a way to stem this tide. Because the truth is this: we will keep on calling Spurs also runs. We call them pretenders because of the fact that they are not doing what they need to do to actually prove that yes, they need to start being counted among the big boys. They are not
Yeah.
doing it at
At
all.
all.
Every single opportunity, they tend to prove why they are being considered and also run.
Spurs.
We call them Spursy. We always say it's a
Spurs.
Spursy moment.
Spursy.
Exactly. They keep on doing that Spursy moment, and you just begin to wonder, these guys, no one will take you serious because you're not even taking yourself serious.
Mm.
That's just
All
what it is.
right.
And
Let's.
that's just it basically. So I think this one, Brighton came
Yeah.
out in the second half to get all 3 points, and no surprises, they got all 3 points. Well
Yeah.
deserved. Yeah.
All right. Let's quickly move on to this moment. Team of
The
the
team of
week.
the week.
Yeah.
Okay,
Your goalkeeper. Quick one.
quick one.
Yeah.
I'm picking Pickford.
Yeah. Pickford had a good
I'm
game.
picking
Yeah.
Pickford because he
Clean
had a
sheet.
good game and had a clean sheet. And to make matters even sweeter, he saved the penalty. I mean, if
Yes.
you had Pickford in your FPL team this week,
How
I'll
much
say
jello?
you are a good man. You're a good man, honestly. You really, really picked this
I'm
one
not sure people
because
always pick Pickford though. I'm not sure people
actually
has
Pickford is
Pickford. Yeah, that will be a
when you
last
don't.
goalkeeper.
For me, my AFL goalkeepers, I tend to rotate within five keepers. I pick
On
Pickford
Onana.
because of saves. I don't pick Onana.
Child. You pick
I pick
Raya.
Pickford. I pick. I don't. Funny enough, I don't pick Raya because
For
Raya is
real.
always guaranteed to have a clean sheet based on those two men in front of
Two.
him. Exactly. That's why I don't pick him. Rather, I pick those two guys instead. I pick Saliba
Mm,
and Gabriel in my defense. I leave the goal post for keepers who can make saves because of the fact that
saves. Pickford
the
will
more
make
saves
saves.
you make,
And
exactly.
Pope.
Pope also as well too. So those are the keepers I tend to rotate with. So I'll pick Pickford. Pickford
On
is
the
still the
left,
major
on the
reason why
left.
Everton is still where they are. If not for Pickford, Everton would be down, down, down there.
Now your
That's
back
basically how
four
it is.
is
Now
you
my
you
back, I'm actually picking a back four. Yes.
yeah, back four.
On two, I have Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Did he play well?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Trent actually had a very good game.
Very good game.
He
Yeah.
had a very good game, and no surprises, he actually created the goal that eventually they actually won with. He was one who created the goal for Diego Jota. Now, I have him there. On the other side, I have James Justin again for Leicester City.
Mm.
I have James Justin again. The guy is actually proving to me that he's actually one young man who is also on the eyes of club sides. They'll be looking out for him, basically. They'll be looking out for him. And
Mm.
if care is not taken, I think by the end of the season, if he keeps up with this performance, he will leave Leicester City. Someone will come for him, definitely. Now, in central defense,
Yeah. The two central defense.
I have Virgil van Dijk
And
and Jonny Evans. There is no way you will have
I
that
thought you are not going to I
that
thought you
game.
are not going to say Johnny
No
Evans.
way. There is no way you're going to have that kind of game and you will not
Massive,
make the team
massive
of the
game.
week. He gave a performance that, in all honesty, you might want to wonder why is it that Evans is not about 5 or 6 years younger?
God. God.
Honestly, that performance was top notch. It was it
Colossus.
was colossal performance, and I think he deserves to be in the team of the week. Now, coming to midfield,
Midfield.
I actually have three midfielders here. Yes,
Go
I'm
for
going
it.
for a 4-3-2-2 instead. Yep, I'm shuffling
Four,
it.
three, two, two.
2-2. Yep,
Okay, go. Okay, explain
yep.
that three.
I'll
That
explain.
three
Okay,
midfield.
the three. There's no defensive midfielder here. Funny enough, I'm actually going for Jared Bowen. I'm going for
Yeah.
Bowen.
Okay.
I'm going for Brandon Bremo. I'm going
Mbuemo.
for Palmer.
Mm.
Why? These guys somehow found a way to actually prove that they are actually the key men their sides need in midfield, and they delivered. All of them delivered. They all had either a goal, like for Buemo had a goal and an assist. Bowen had a goal and an assist.
And Palmer
Palmer had an assist. These are creative players. They will create, and for their size, they're actually assets to the size that they actually play for, because you know that their creativity will come from this guy, and when it comes from these guys, they'll actually get results. Now, coming to the flanks, that's why I actually went for a 4-3-2-2. I picked Bukayo Saka on this side, on the 7, because there is no way you actually get to have
Saka
2
play well.
assists and a goal, and you not get to the table. He played well.
Sure.
He was basically the major reason why Arsenal won that game. On the other side, I'm picking Diogo Jota.
Beautiful.
We cannot keep on narrating and acting as if Jota doesn't actually deliver.
Come on now. Jota is a top player.
Jota is a good player. So he has to be on that team. Then
so
up
the
front.
Up front. Yeah, I want to see it.
Good.
I
have Mikel Antonio.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had a good game. Then
Antonio had a very good game. The person who sides him, Danny Welbeck. There is no way I'm going to skip that player. Danny Welbeck actually keeps on reminding you that, well, if he is not injured, he delivers, and no surprises. He basically was the focal point of that fight back. So that's why if you feel you have a better team, please hit me up. You know where to find us. Just drop your team and we'll analyze it. That's it.
All right. This is how far we can go. But before we go, I want you to touch this guy. This is our player of the week for me. I mean, Brimo.
He is definitely, sure.
Top notch now. Very good game. And well, we have to end this here today, brother. Jeffers, thank you so much for joining us.
It was a pleasure. I got to run like right now.
All right, people. This is how far we can go tonight. So thank you to every one of us, every one of you guys that joined us, and also have subscribed, shared the video, and also like the video. They done the video. I'm going to sign out. There's going to be an international break, no doubt about it. So we're going to rest a little bit before we open another account next weekend. So, on the same time, I want to say bye for now.